Hey y'all, it's Colson from Hodl Economics, and today we will be going over Satoshi Nakamoto, aka the man who created Bitcoin. We will be going over why he created Bitcoin, as well as who he really might be, and what that can mean for the future. Now, first things first, we want to know what is Bitcoin. And so by looking at bitcoin.org, as you can see right here, the official website, first thing that pops up is Bitcoin is an innovative payment network and a new kind of money. And the main focus of this sentence that you want to look at is the a new kind of money part. Because Bitcoin is a new kind of money. It really is. It's called digital gold. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see on this left side, it'll give a little bit more of an in-depth description. And Bitcoin uses peer-to-peer technology to operate with no central authority or banks. That means no one controls your money. It is a new form of money that is not controlled by anyone. And that is really the main idea here. Bitcoin is open source. Its design is public. Nobody owns or controls Bitcoin. I'm going to say it again. Nobody owns or controls Bitcoin. A new form of money that no one owns or controls. This is fundamental to understanding Bitcoin as a whole. This is rule number one. It is a new form of money that no one owns or controls. And this is why it is digital gold. Now, if we jump over to CoinMarketCap, we can take a look at some of the fundamentals in the infrastructure of Bitcoin that allow it to be something that can be called digital gold and why it is such a premier asset. And that lies in the max supply. The max supply of Bitcoin is 21 million. As you can see here on the index, it says the maximum amount of coins that will ever exist in the lifetime of the cryptocurrency. There will only ever be 21 million. There will never be more. There will never be more than 21 million. USD, for example, is constantly being printed, which is why inflation rises so much, because there's an infinite supply. There is a finite supply of Bitcoin. At this point, I'm assuming we're at the point where you're probably wondering, why would we want or need a new form of money? And the 2007-2008 global financial crisis is exactly why. Economies around the globe collapsed. Financial institutions went bankrupt. Everything went to shit. Pardon my French. This was the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression of the 1920s, and everything fell out. Everything collapsed. Just the markets went berserk. And given this, Bitcoin, the idea of Bitcoin came to be. And that idea is that Bitcoin would serve as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This is on the bitcoin.org website again, and as you can see here, this is Satoshi Nakamoto's original paper. It is published on the website for anyone to read in a variety of languages, as you can see here. Since this video is in English, we will be clicking on the English file, and this is the Bitcoin, the original file, the Bitcoin PDF. As you can see here, there's a title. It's roughly 9 pages, so not a heavy read by any means. There's the author, Satoshi Nakamoto. And it's basically just, outlining the idea of Bitcoin, what it could serve as. The abstracts right there for you to read. I'm not going to read through the whole thing for obvious reasons. This is on the Bitcoin website. It will be linked in the description. Now, the big question everybody wants to know is, who exactly is Satoshi Nakamoto? Since Satoshi is a pseudonym, there are lots of guesses, with the main one being that Satoshi is Hal Finney. Now, Hal Finney is an American software developer and a cryptographer and cyberpunk. And his biggest achievement, if you type it just into any search engine, as you can see, he's known for being the first Bitcoin recipient. He received the very first Bitcoin transaction on the Bitcoin network in 2009 from the original wallet, from the Genesis block of Bitcoin. And he died in 2014, unfortunately, and that is actually the last time Satoshi posted anything public, was about 2 months before Hal Finney's death. As far as the second biggest contender for who Satoshi could be, and it shouldn't shock anyone, it is the world's strongest economy, and that is the U.S. government. Now, as for the reasoning behind the U.S. government creating Bitcoin, we're going to pop over to our handy-dandy search engine and type in SHA-256. Now, SHA-2 is a set of cryptographic hash functions designed by the United States National Security Agency in 2001. This is a set of cryptographic hash functions, which are basically just calculations and algorithms to help create a secure cyber network. Now, as far as what this has to do with Bitcoin itself, we're going to pop over to the totalbitcoin.com website, and it says right there in the title, the backbone of Bitcoin security. The first line, the cryptographic hash function, SHA-256, serves as the vital foundation for ensuring the security and integrity of the Bitcoin network. By generating a unique 256-bit hash value, this is your address for a Bitcoin wallet that you would send and receive from, it makes it extremely challenging to reverse engineer the original data. This is how people can't impersonate you, and it is the foundation of Bitcoin. Because the NSA created this hash function in 2001 that is found so deeply within Bitcoin's code and in part of its fundamentals, a lot of people speculate that the U.S. government did create Bitcoin following the 2008 financial crisis and to serve as a reserve currency for the world. As not the U.S. economy wasn't the only economy that collapsed; it was global. It was all around. And so Bitcoin's potential as a reserve currency for the world, because it has a 21 million supply cap and potentially infinite demand as adoption increases over time, the idea that the U.S. economy would create this as kind of a backup plan isn't too far-fetched by any means. And the fact that Hal Finney, on the other hand, the fact that Hal Finney received the first Bitcoin transaction on the network, and we know that for a fact, and combined with the fact that the last time we heard from Satoshi Nakamoto was in 2014, 2 months before Hal Finney died, it's not too far-fetched to say that he may have created and sent himself the first Bitcoin, the first 50 Bitcoin, as sort of a test run to see if the network worked to his liking, if it was what he desired, etc. Those are my two biggest contenders for who I think Satoshi Nakamoto could be. If you all found that video insightful, educational, and entertaining in any way, please like, follow, subscribe, and let me know who y'all think Satoshi Nakamoto is.